it is becoming clearer and clearer that the country is now going to be split between those who want this matter to be dealt with through a referendum and those who want it to go to Parliament. Those of us who sit in the hustlers' corner of the hustlers' nation, we are very clear and very precise on why we believe that the issues raised in those recommendations do not necessitate going to a referendum. But when you listen to lawyer Otiende Amolo, he's struggling to justify why he thinks this process should go to the people. You know, Otiende, one of the things we were taught by Professor Maina Mungai in the medical school was that doctors and lawyers are deliberately trained to think on their feet. Lawyers, you must think on your feet in court so that on the spur of the moment, you are able to deliver an accurate and sound legal argument. And doctors, on your feet, once you've put your patient under the knife, the patient is under the anesthesia, you can't say, let me stop, I go and read for me to sort out the problem. You think on your feet. So this thing you're bringing in of ex-officio members, why are you forgetting that even in its current composition, we have ex-officio members in Parliament who don't vote? Speakers don't vote. The nominated senators, all those 47 women, don't vote. All those 20 women don't vote.
Not on all issues. Yeah.
I've always begged you to be a good debater, but you have refused.
I'm just guiding you.
Yes, yes.
I'm helping you with a bit of law.
So my brother, where it is, we are no longer afraid. There are as many lawyers in your corner as there are in our corner. So if you continue with this arrogance, let me tell you the route you are taking in the country. We are going to invoke Article 258 that speaks to the issue of contravening or attempting to contravene the Constitution. This matter will then move to the courts. Then we'll allow you lawyers to go and have your day in court. My second point is on commissioners, the proposal. I argued last week, and I've been proven right, that we already have existing reports that have answered all the questions that BBI was attempting to tackle. The issue of commissioners, they are now making a very dangerous proposal, contrary to what the curricular report said. Yeah. The curricular report was against this IPPG-like thing of 1997 of this political party, this political grouping to recommend a commissioner. Let commissioners be competitively be recruited in accordance with the curricular recommendation found in the curricular report, so that the people running the election are neutral. Amolo, once upon a time, you remember a party called ODM nominated a commissioner called Isaac Hassan. He went on and became the head of the commission. The same Isaac Hassan, Baba led us through very serious tear gas sessions for us to remove the ODM recommended Isaac Hassan. So it doesn't always give you this attitude of ODM that if it is not good for us, ODM, then it is not good for Kenya. It must stop. You must go the route Aaron has said, the route of give and take, so that when you are at position A, you are ready and willing to shift. The way you have heard the Deputy President say, we should avoid the situation of us against them. We can actually sort out this process through that kind of approach. Can you allow me one comment? Because this might be my last time. That man who came from Tanzania, it was impunity, and with due respect to whoever invited him, that we allowed him to lecture us. The Constitution of Kenya, this one, speaks to how you can allow that kind of dignitary to speak. This Constitution says, if a visiting head of state or dignitary wants to address us as Kenyans, he must do it through the National Assembly or through the Senate. Mtu kuja kutengeneza mambo ya Kiswahili mingi hapa, amekuwa mwalimu wa Kiswahili, nini na nini, trying to lecture us. Where? Is it in economics or in politics or in the social fabric where Tanzania is ahead of Kenya? Where?
But what will you say about the national prayer breakfast, where we have also dignitaries invited to, you know...
Hiyo ni mambo ya Mungu hiyo.
All right, let's give our closing remarks with the 2 points also. Otena Molo.
Yes,
please.
There was nothing wrong with that address. He was actually at the invite of the president.
Okay.
And he received a standing ovation. I think what he said was so apt for this country. He should speak to us more often. Secondly, I was speaking to those who want to hear objectively the legal position, not to Dr. Khalwale, who's closed his mind to anything that does not appeal to what he wants. And in terms of the legal position, I was going to make 2 more points, but now I don't have time. One is that the IEBC, right now its conception is as an independent body, the way Aaron and Khalwale are saying. Once you make political parties nominate those who constitute it, then you remove the independence bit. It is now dependent, and that requires, therefore, a referendum. Secondly, as long as you implement what they suggested, that you have a zebra, if the governor is male, the deputy is female, and then also in terms of implementation of the gender ratios, you must therefore then amend Article 38. It is Article 38 that has enabled a situation where you can have a man as a governor, deputy governor, a situation where anybody can stand anywhere, because the idea, the right to vote, is a political right. You would have to adjust it if you implement this report. 2 quick things. One, will we continue debating indefinitely, as Dr. Iseli suggests? I think we should bring this to a close. In my own mind, it is possible to bring all this to a close and have a referendum by April or May next year. And I can explain that in any other show, demonstrably. With the committee of experts quickly appointed, they refine it, it goes to the counties, it comes back, and we have a referendum. Lastly, it is not possible to have a referendum at the same time as elections. And I can explain it technically. You cannot be electing people on the basis of the old order and you are bringing in a new order at the same time. It would be chaotic.
Thank you.
You must have a referendum first, then you have elections on the basis of that order.
Thank you.
And I think we can have a non-contentious referendum if everyone is agreeable.
Eseli, your closing remarks, briefly.
Dibal, I think for me, the cartoon on page 14, if a frog becomes a king, he'll make the whole kingdom muddy. I don't know whether the BBI report has addressed that issue, because we have a leadership problem in this country. And that is what this cartoon is talking about. If a frog becomes king, he'll make the whole kingdom muddy. Have we, is the BBI recommendation, insulating Kenyans against a frog becoming king and making all of us muddy? Because when they talk about tribalism, and imagine one of their suggestions is that we wait for the integration of East African community to reduce our tribalism.
Thank you.
Okay, but as I finish, I would say I would still appeal to Kenyans. Kenyans should not allow Jubilee to succeed itself come 2022. They have been bad for this country.
Thank you. All right. Aaron Cheriot. Aaron Cheriot, and also looking at the stars, we're winding up. Now the troops are retreating to Kajiado to plan for the BBI. I'm given to understand. Also involving the Kamatusa region as well. You can weigh briefly on that. And also, a court of you are planning to impeach Matiang'i because of the saga at BBI.
I am not aware of plans to impeach Matiang'i.
Page 10 of the Standard, we see that story.
I have read the story. I think it was only two members of parliament who gave their opinion about it.
Your closing remarks,
I've got no idea how to draft an impeachment motion.
Closing remarks.
Are you sure? Anyway, I don't want to open that debate about the conduct of Matiang'i. Though I'd advise him to have tea with Professor, what was the name of that PS who tried running for president? James Olekiapi, to understand the transition from government to politics. On this particular story, it's not true. Why do we have to be reduced to be someone's supporters? This is a meeting of all the 14 counties of the Rift Valley, where they just want to read and understand the BBI in context of some of the proposals. Say, for example, the one that I was pointing out on the issues of devolution. So we will have our stand on it, 14 counties. And it's not in Kajiado, we are meeting in Naivasha.
Thank you.
Finally.
Thank you, Aaron Cheriot. Kimano Matangi, your closing remarks?
Thank you. Let me, because I don't think anyone has taken the time to thank the BBI team. When they did what they did, they brought the report, we took it, served it, and we went our own ways. But nobody took time to thank them. And at least for all they did not give us a report that divided the country. It is politicians who have now taken it up and want to divide the country along their own personal interests. At least the team that was given the mandate tried the best, and that is why you find that the report has been largely described by most political leaders as underwhelming. Although definitely there are things that I would have said more expressly. The caution that was exercised by the team is significant and important in ensuring that at least they don't cross the boundaries that they should not have crossed. It gives us the opportunity, and especially the person at the grassroots, to have their voice heard correctly. So let me take the opportunity to congratulate them for at least giving us a report at the end of the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I can see your reactions on Twitter. I'm doing badly on time. But you said this is my final time I'm speaking.
I'm the last in the house.
2 seconds.
Yes.
2 seconds.
Yes.
2 seconds.
Yes. When Honorable Junet gave Honorable Ngilu and Honorable Waiguru an opportunity to speak, he thought he wanted to spite the other people of the contrary opinion. But I want to congratulate the two governors, Waiguru and Ngilu. When they came out, they spoke to issues and they raised very tangent issue of how can we make the office of the president and the office of the governor more inclusive. It might be unpalatable to some people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Boni Khalwale. We'll start for time badly. I'm doing badly, but I want to thank you, our viewers as well, and your reactions on Twitter. Next time we'll try and project some of them, and also just get your reactions as well, which are so many of them. But thank you nonetheless for those reactions.